Hello and welcome to the noob-tube, a channel made for noobs by noobs, where I try to add a little bit of a different perspective on things, maybe from the point of view of somebody that doesn't really know a whole lot about what's going on technically, specifically here in the hobby of quad racing and quad freestyling. The reason for that is that a lot of the videos that people are making right now are from the perspective of experienced people, which is awesome. That's great. That's what you want. You want to watch these videos about people that know what they're talking about. Why do you want to watch my videos? Well, because I found a lack of information specifically about things that maybe people take for granted that we won't know. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to answer some questions, trying to get some stuff out there that maybe few things have been looked over, or maybe that information is a little hard to find if you don't know how to ask the right questions. Why am I doing that? Well, because I just got into the quad racing, quad freestyling hobby with this Eachine Wizard X220 here, and from a previous video that I made, a lot of comments were saying, awesome, you know, thanks for the tips and stuff from a noob's perspective, because I'm just getting into the hobby. I ordered my Eachine, it's on back order, whatever, and I'm noticing that a lot of people are getting into this hobby now that have no idea what they're doing, me included. I've never flown anything before, and a lot of people are starting to do this now, and I see a few reasons, you know, mainly probably because this hobby is starting to kick off like really hardcore. I mean, DRL got picked up by ESPN recently. The sport's still really new, and people are going to start seeing it all over the place. They see it on their television, they see it on their YouTube, on their Facebook. It's just all over. And then when they see, you know, they YouTube or they search, you know, racing quad or racing drone, and they type inexpensive next to it, well, guess what pops up? This bad boy. Because it just gets 5-star reviews all around, because Eachine did such a good job on this thing, making it at a low price point but have really good performance and solid, you know, solidly built. So I think that there's going to be a big gap of information here pretty soon, where people are going to be looking at videos and it's just hard to filter through these things when somebody is making a YouTube video about a product and they just kind of touch on a few key parts that like matter to the pros, you know. So anyways, I'll move on with that, and we'll start talking about the quad. I'm sure you've seen some unboxing videos, so I won't go too crazy into like what you get and what's going on with this, all this stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna assume, let's say this, I'll assume you've seen some videos before. The antennas, we know, are tucked into the body. They're not actually secured when you get it. I'll talk about that in a little bit. You get a battery, you get a really crappy charger, a carbon fiber wrench, which is actually pretty neat, but almost useless, and you know, some zip ties, whatever, maybe a couple other things. But so pretty much I had some issues when I first got this thing because I was completely ignorant. I had no idea what was going on. I'm a total noob. I made another video previously recommending that you not buy this if you've never flown anything before. And you probably go and get you a little toy for pretty cheap. I understand that a lot of us don't want to fly toys, which is why some of us didn't in the first place. And then when we saw this, something, you know, with performance that we can mod and fix parts that break on them, then that's why we jumped on it. And some of you veterans need to understand that there's a big group of people out there that they don't like toys. You know, I get that comment all the time. Well, fly toys first, fly toys first. I get that, but you know what? I never wanted toys, you know, growing up, and you know, now I'm an adult. It's like I don't want a little flying toy thing. If it crashes, it's like I'm out of my money, you know. Then I got to buy a new one. This thing, I knew that I could replace parts that are broken and stuff like that, so that's why I got it. Anyways, so out of the box, we know that's what we get, and I'm trying to figure out a way to explain to some of these guys the issues that I had. So I charged my battery and I hooked it up. I had to kind of figure out a way to put my antennas, you know, so because they were just in there, and I saw my videos on, you know, so I did my research, and they said, you know, a lot of people just kind of said, well, find a place to put them, and then they didn't really show you where to put them. That doesn't matter. Put them where you want to put them. There's really no wrong way to route your antennas as long as they're not getting hit by something. Just, you know, express yourself. You know, make it look how you want to look, a little bug or something like this. But, you know, route your antennas. Make sure that you have your video, your VTX, your video transmitter antenna actually on, screwed on. Because if you don't, and you plug your battery in, you will fry your stuff. So maybe not immediately, but it does shorten the lifespan. And I know that's in like a bunch of videos too, but I got to touch on it. If you don't want to fly, if you don't have first-person goggles yet, maybe you can go ahead and just unzip tie that and take that off. You can just take it off, set it aside if you'd like. But so I get my battery hooked up, right? So what do you do next? Well, you put your batteries in your transmitter, okay? And then you actually take and make sure that you do not have any props on your quad. All right, that's important. So I want to back up for a second. Anytime you put your battery on this quad, on any quad, and you hook it up, it is dangerous, okay? Because this thing is ready to go, it beeps at you, lights come on, and if it gets some kind of weird hair up his ass and a signal or something, and it decides to start going, it's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt somebody else. So make sure that for this instance, we're going to keep our props off, which I haven't even gone over really how we're going to put them on in the first place. But and again, I know that may be self-explanatory to some people, but just bear with us here. So props off. We got our battery on. It beeps. It, you know, all that good stuff. We got our controller on, right? And then you're going to want to actually bring it down. This here, the left one, throttle down to the right. 1 to 2 seconds. You're not going to get any noise, but you're going to see some a red light blink in here. It means you're good to go. Give it a little bit of throttle. You'll see those motors spin. All right. Remember, we don't have our props on. We're not going to slam it all the way to the top because we don't have any props on this bad boy, and we don't really want to spin it, you know, without any resistance on there. So we're just going to give it a little bit and then bring it back down. We know that it's good to go. We can maybe give it a little bit of roll and a little bit of pitch, and we'll shut that guy off right there. And then we will go back inside, and if you did it inside, that's okay. You didn't have any props on anyways. Sorry if I'm talking fast. I'm trying to get some of this out of the way. So where do we go from there? Well, we go and we stick this guy off to the side, and we cry because we don't know how to fly it, because we're complete noobs. Unless, of course, you have flown drones before, excuse me, quads, any kind of quad or anything like that before, and you're confident in your skills. Then sure, go right ahead. Bring this guy up. Right out of the box, it's going to have what's called an angle mode, which is self-leveling, and that's pretty much all you're going to get there. You'll be able to go back and forth, do what you want to do, good fun. If you've never flown anything before and you haven't picked up any toys because that's not what you want to do, and that's your own money and you can spend it how you want as long as you are doing it safely, then I recommend purchasing something that plugs into here that will connect to your computer, okay? Because this is this port is for a few different things. It has a few different reasons that this is here. You can connect two transmitters to another, okay, so that you can control something, but if you mess up, they can pick it back up. I've not seen that done in forever, but that is a thing, so I hear. You can connect your transmitter to your computer to update the firmware, software, whatever. It's going to come just fine as it is. So what you also can do is connect it to your computer with this, and it comes with an adapter to here to run simulators, okay? So that's what we're going to want to do. We're going to want to run some simulators. There's a couple free ones out there and there's a couple paid ones out there. I'll put them in the link, but they're easy to find. I'm sure you know, you might have already heard about them. So that's what we're going to want to do. We're going to want to fly some simulators before we get this guy up in the air. And I know you're excited, and I know, you know, you think, oh, you know, they make it look so easy on the videos. Well, they do make it look really easy on the videos. It's not easy, okay? So run you a couple simulators. If you just got the itch real bad, then, you know, it's in angle mode. Maybe just kind of make sure you're in an open area, very open. Nobody around at all. No children, anything, pets, because this thing, it's going to get out of hand, guaranteed. In angle mode if you don't know what you're doing, you know, so maybe give it a little bit of throttle, okay, and we're gonna let it hover up, and then we're just gonna give it a pitch forward, all right, and a pitch backwards, a roll left and a roll right. Do that, I'm telling you, for like the first 10 or 15 batteries. Just get used to the sensitivity of these controls, and then you can start getting cocky, okay? But always make sure, please make sure that you're safe. All your surroundings are visible. If you're flying line of sight, if you're flying first person, I can't really recommend that right out of the box. If you've never flown anything before, you're gonna want to start with some line of sight, because that's where your initial skills are created, okay? A lot of people will tell you to go straight to acro mode. Yes, I can recommend that if you have flown something before. Can't recommend that necessarily if you've flown nothing before, which is the same boat I'm in. Like I said, this is a channel for noobs by noobs. All this information is stuff I've picked up. I made a few buddies here and there recently, some professionals, and you know, they've helped me out a whole lot. This community is awesome. They're always willing to help. You know, there's a couple bad apples in there, but don't worry about them. Don't forget about them. All right. So let me touch on a few more things here that we're going to want to know as some noobs. So let's pretend we've put in, you know, quite a few hours here on the simulator. We're going back and forth between my simulator and my hovering and playing. Okay, well, what else? So hopefully, if you've gotten to this part in the video, then you know, you're going to know a few of these little tips before you purchase this thing, or as you're purchasing this thing. So obviously, this should be common sense, right? Get you some more batteries, okay? But I recommend, and I've had a couple people recommend to me also, don't be so eager to hop onto the 4S train. And if that's Chinese to you, don't worry about it. It's just a little S rating. It's how many cells you got in your battery. Got 1, 2, 3 cells. There's a 4 cell. It's gonna be more power, you know, a little more speed, which you don't need right now, okay? Don't worry about it. Don't feel like you need to go buy 4S batteries and just right off the bat just start flying like a maniac, okay? Get you some 3S batteries. These are awesome. Floureon, I got them off of Amazon for like 25 bucks for 2. Sweet, sweet deal. It's smaller than the one that came with it, so you can actually set it up and you can put you a little camera right here if you want to record. Actually, I think this one's charged. I got another one on the charger. So batteries, okay, get you a couple batteries. Get you that deal right there, 2 for 20. Get you some better props, okay? These props that come with it are junk. All right, these, and I don't know anybody else's opinion on that, but as far as just me using them, I mean, like, I wouldn't even crash. Like, it was so sad. Like, I would just kind of like, I would try and take off in acro mode as I'm learning, you know, and like I try and do a roll or a pitch, and you know, the wind will catch me and my freaking prop hits the ground a little bit and it's gone. It's bent up. It keeps its you know, it has memory, you know, to it. So when you bend it, it has memory, so it just stays that way. And you get these nasty little white crease marks, and they snap off. I didn't even think about it, but I have a whole jar of my props. I have like a couple left of these. I was lucky. I was fortunate. There's a guy here in town that actually has his own shop. He sponsors his own racing team and everything. This is where I'm getting a lot of my information from. He actually hooked me up with some props, man. I went and bought some from him, and these are sweet. These are FC model. I don't know. It's just, I mean, the quality of them are freaking fantastic. They bend real well. Got a good texture to them. He recommends Dalprops. All right, those are good. And then he actually hooked me up with a set of Racecrafts, which they feel really nice. Careful when you're buying your props. Starting out, I wouldn't go more than like these are 50-45s. All right, right here. And that's just the number, pretty much just going to tell you about your pitch. I don't know all the specifics right now. I will be making some more videos later. I'm gonna have a series of just different tips and noob information on specifics. So motors, propellers, batteries, just different little things like that. I had to repair an antenna because I had to repair this antenna actually right off the bat. But you know, just a few tips right out of the box. A few things you're gonna want to put in the shopping cart as you're purchasing your quad for the first time. You are gonna get some stuff. It's gonna get you off the ground. But I tell you what, if you gotta wait a couple hours every time you want to fly with this guy, it sucks. You're gonna want batteries. You're not gonna want to use this charger. Okay, you're gonna want to use something like this right here. All right, I got this off Amazon for 35 bucks. It's a good deal. It was recommended to me by somebody that I trust, and it balances your batteries really well. It can decharge them, it can store them, it can do all that good stuff. But it's not a plug and play, okay? You're gonna wanna know how this works. There's information, there's videos out there. I probably won't do one of those because there's plenty of information about there. I mean, I don't know. I'll probably do one. I don't know. So there's that. I think that's pretty much it as far as what you're gonna wanna put in the shopping cart. We touched on the trainer cable. That's like a must. You're gonna want your batteries, your better charger, your props. You know what? Some Allen wrenches, okay? And you know, I mean, I may be taking for granted that you have some, but these right here, your standoffs, Allen wrenches, all right? Allen wrenches. Tiny wrench, but still, you can grab that with some needle nose. All your motor mounts, right? You're gonna want to check that before you fly it. And I would recommend like a pre-flight check all the time, okay? You're crashing on the ground, or just the vibrations of these things will shake these loose. You can take them off, and you can Loctite them if you want. Not the red, probably the blue. But yeah, get you some Allen wrenches, just a set. These are small, and I can't really tell you exactly what size, so you're not just going to want to buy one Allen wrench anyways. Also, a good wrench for your motor nuts, okay? This is a 5/16, all right, for this model specifically. I think this is metric, but this will work just fine. What I can recommend actually is one of these little open-ended wrenches that has a ratcheting feature on the inside. I didn't get one, but I will be going to get one at Lowe's or something like that. So we've got, we did our pre-flight arming, right? We armed it. We figured out how that works. We know that everything's okay and it's good to go, and we want to put our props on, right? Well, these are nylon lock nuts. Nylon lock nuts, okay? And what that means is they're hard to put on. I'm sure you know what a nylon lock nut is. Who knows? You might not. So, you know, you put your prop on there, and it may be a little tough, but you can thread it on there if you got those purples, okay? Mine just slide right on here, but these purples, all right, they got arrows on them, okay? And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to figure out. I said I wasn't going to do this, but I took it totally for granted that you knew this, and that's kind of what this channel is not all about. So your props have directions on them, arrows. Now, not all of them will. Like, these don't have them. And this video is going to be a little bit longer than I would have liked because I have to explain this now. So your props will spin, and the easiest way to explain this is you have your front and your back. Other people explain it other ways, but this is how I explain it. So you have your front and your back. Well, if a prop spins, all right, you're going to want the part that's up, that's scooped upwards, right, where the air is going to come into it, okay, right here. You're going to want that part spinning forwards, okay, this way. So the air is going to come this way, all right, and get pushed down. Okay, so if this one's spinning forwards, we want this one spinning forwards. Okay, so that might not be self-explanatory yet, but these are two different props. All right, you've got one with that's spinning this way, and you've got your arrows on your props here. All right, and then you've got another one right here that's spinning this way. Okay, so that's that. So you got these two that are spinning inwards towards each other. Well, what does that mean about the rear? Well, you've actually got the rear doing the same exact thing, so that, see how they're going to spin in towards each other like so? Okay, so you're going to have your props. So what that means is if you have one with your arrows, if I can find it, right here, that are spinning this way, you will have this same kind of prop over here, okay? And they're going to spin righty-tighty, all right? But when they go on these nuts, they're actually going to be lefty-tighty because your prop's going to spin to the right, which will in turn make that prop want to force against that thread and tighten it. Okay, if that kind of makes a little bit of sense. It just is what it is, okay? So these here, and then you've got these here, all right? And again, you got your prop spinning forwards, all right, inwards towards each other, and then these are going inwards towards each other, like that. Okay, and then if you want to think about it this way, they're symmetrical, okay? They're not going like this, right? They don't look good. They're going like this. Okay, I'm sorry if that was like I babied it down way too much for you, but like I said, this is a noob perspective video. It's a noob channel. This is for somebody that may not know anything about this hobby. And some of this information is hard to find if you don't know how to ask the right questions, okay? And I apologize if I've offended some people that may have like know everything about this already, this channel is just not for you, okay? And I understand that, you know, you don't want some people in the air that could be a danger to people. And for that, I recommend all these new guys. One, don't buy this if you don't know how to fly, okay? Fly you some toys. Get you a tiny whoop. If that one's too expensive, get you the Eachine. Eachine makes this company right here makes a little tiny guy, all right, with a little crappy little controller. Get you that, all right, and then save up some money and get you a nice receiver that'll pair to it, all right, and then after that, get you the Eachine Wizard, but just the standalone version, because you'll already have a receiver and you would have been flying your Eachine, a little small one, all right, and then get you a receiver, okay? Go that route. Don't necessarily buy this thing right off the bat, but this video is for somebody that might have already, and that's okay, because so did I. And we're all learning together as we go, and as long as we're safe, you know, that's okay. I think I've pretty much touched on everything. Sorry if I kind of rambled on a little bit. You know, I did this video a couple times and it got ruined because of a couple other different reasons, but I think the last thing, okay, I'm sorry, I did say about your motors, if you're going to want to put these on, okay, so these silver ones are righty-tighty, the black ones are lefty-tighty, all right, and I did explain the pitch. If you're going to be tightening these things, it's very hard, and I would say almost impossible, to hold this motor, all right, while you're tightening them for the first, second, maybe third time, which will happen a lot, especially if you're using those crappy props. So what I do, and what I cannot, for the record, recommend, is to take this. This is actually a drill bit, okay? If I were to recommend someone do this, I would recommend it with something thin, hard, but plastic. And I actually stick it through the holes in my motor here, like that, to actually be able to hold leverage so that I can actually put my fingers against that and then tighten my motor, my motor nuts, my prop nuts. You want to be very, very careful, and I am aware that I am not scratching the coils on my stator for my brushless motors. These coils in here, you don't want to scratch those guys. They've got a coating on them. You want to be very careful. If you do something like this, be aware. The other option that you could possibly have is something like a motor grip like this. It's just a little hard because the motor guard's on here. And, you know, I mean, if there's another way, please let me know. It's just hard. Like I said, this thing doesn't really come with some of the necessities. They take a few things for granted, that you'll pretty much have some of these things or understand some of these things. No instructions came with it. No cable to hook up to your simulator or anything like that, which is okay. That's fine. But, you know, it's hard to know that if nobody tells you that. Nobody tells you this doesn't come with a cable to hook up to your simulator, then you don't know. And like I said, this video is for people that are getting into the hobby that are super, super new, that have never flown anything before, or maybe just flown some, you know, junk. And it's going to happen. People are getting into it real fast. And there's just so many new people getting into the hobby like me. It's crazy. But, you know, I didn't even know that there were first-person view drone, quad simulators, let alone that I needed to order a cable for my transmitter so that I could fly them. Now I fly my simulator every day. I love it. You know, I fly my simulator obviously more than I fly my quad. I keep wanting to say drone. So, anyways, that's pretty much it, guys. Besides, you know, your antennas, I mean, there's a few videos out there about that. Your antennas are tucked in. Make sure you zip tie them somewhere safe. Get you some double stick foam tape to foam tape your VTX, which is your video transmitter, and your receiver, which is this box here. Get you some of that, and maybe check make sure you do your pre-flight checks. Make sure everything's tight. Make sure your wires are tucked in real well. Zip tie them down if you have to, just not too tight so you don't crimp them down. And that's pretty much it, guys. When you hook up your battery, make sure you're no wires or anything, or you know, in the way of your props. Just use your imagination, okay? Make it your own. Get you some double stick Velcro maybe, and Velcro your cables down, some stuff like that. All right. Anyways, besides that, guys, you have fun. Stick around. Subscribe, like, whatever you want to do. Like I said, I will be making a whole noob channel I've got a few friends, some professionals. The guy that sponsors the race team, like I said, might be doing a little interview with him, a little Q&A, some stuff like that, some exciting stuff. So, yep, I'll see you guys later.